Welcome to a journey into the darkest corners of our world, where myths and legends come alive and the line between reality and imagination blurs. Throughout history, humans have been fascinated and terrified by creatures that lurk in the shadows. From ancient folklore to modern urban legends, these beings haunt our dreams and fuel our fears. In this series, we will explore the scariest creatures known to mankind, delving into their origins, stories, and the chilling impact they've had on cultures around the globe. Brace yourself as we uncover the terrifying world of the supernatural, the monstrous, and the downright horrifying. Be ready to meet the stuff of nightmares as Mr. Fun Factory presents the 10 creatures that terrifies him the most. At number 10, Baba Yaga. In the darkest, most foreboding forests of Slavic folklore, Baba Yaga resides in a hut that stands on chicken legs, her gnarled and skeletal form cloaked in shadows, waiting to devour lost souls and children who dare to approach. With eyes that pierce the soul and a voice that chills the blood, she flies in a mortar, wielding a pestle with the power to curse and corrupt. Her malevolent laugh echoes through the trees, promising doom to anyone who trespasses her domain. Baba Yaga is the embodiment of ancient, untamed magic, a witch whose very name inspires terror. At number 9, Leadera. As the moon casts eerie shadows over Brazilian rooftops, Leadera, the sinister night hag, creeps silently into bedrooms, waiting to strike terror into those who sleep on their backs. Her grotesque, skeletal figure and malevolent, glowing eyes paralyze her victims, leaving them gasping for breath as she sits on their chests, feeding off their fear. The suffocating weight of her presence leaves a lasting dread, making sleep a terrifying prospect. Leadera is the nocturnal predator that turns dreams into nightmares, a relentless embodiment of terror. At number 8, Lerona. In the stillness of the night, the mournful wails of Lerona echo along riverbanks, as the ghostly figure of the weeping woman searches endlessly for her drowned children. Clad in a tattered white gown, her tear-streaked face and hollow eyes reveal the agony of eternal sorrow, luring the unsuspecting to their doom. Her presence sends shivers down the spine, a harbinger of impending tragedy for those who hear her cries. Lerona is the spectral embodiment of grief and despair, a tragic figure whose pain transcends death itself. At number 7, Kisaka. In the dimly lit streets of Japan, the terrifying figure of Kisaka emerges, her face hidden behind a surgical mask, concealing a grotesque, ear-to-ear grin. She approaches with unsettling calmness, asking her victims if they think she's beautiful, only to reveal her monstrous mouth and attack with razor-sharp scissors. Her haunting question and the gruesome fate that follows create a paralyzing fear that grips the heart. Kisaka is the urban legend that brings horror to the mundane, a nightmarish specter that preys on the innocent. At number 6, Black Annies. Hidden within the ancient oaks of the English countryside, Black Annies, the blue-faced hag with iron claws, lurks, waiting to snatch children and devour them in her cave. Her long, yellow fangs and blood-red eyes pierce the darkness, striking fear into the hearts of those who hear her name. She sews her victims' skins into a gruesome tapestry, a chilling testament to her bloodlust. Black Annies is the primal terror of the woods, a monstrous figure whose very existence is a nightmare brought to life. At number 5, Jinn. In the barren deserts and hidden corners of the world, the Jinn, supernatural beings of smokeless fire, exist beyond the human realm, capable of both benevolence and malevolence. Their shape-shifting abilities and immense power allow them to influence and manipulate the minds of those they encounter, often leading to madness and chaos. They dwell in dark, secluded places, and their presence is marked by an eerie, otherworldly aura. The Jinn are the enigmatic spirits of Islamic lore, unpredictable entities whose actions inspire both reverence and dread. At number 4, Monal. As night falls in the Philippines, the Monal, a fearsome, vampire-like creature, detaches its upper body, sprouting bat-like wings to hunt for prey under the cover of darkness. Its elongated tongue and razor-sharp teeth make it a horrifying predator, feeding on the hearts and livers of unborn children and sleeping victims. By day, it appears as a normal human, blending in seamlessly, only to transform into a grotesque monster by night. The Monal is a chilling embodiment of duality, a creature that turns the familiar into the terrifyingly unknown. At number 3, Wendigo. In the icy forests of North America, the Wendigo, a gaunt, skeletal creature of insatiable hunger, roams, embodying the darkest aspects of human greed and cannibalism. Its sunken eyes, decaying flesh, and skeletal frame create a nightmarish figure that preys on the lost and desperate, consuming their flesh and souls. The Wendigo's presence brings a bone-chilling cold and an overwhelming sense of dread, as it whispers promises of eternal hunger and madness. It is the embodiment of nature's wrath, a monstrous being that transforms humanity's darkest instincts into a horrifying reality. At number 2, Tete. In the desolate train stations of Japan, the ghost of Tete haunts the night, her dismembered torso dragging itself forward with unnerving speed on clawed hands. Her story is one of gruesome vengeance, as she relentlessly pursues those who dare cross her path, wielding a scythe to recreate her own tragic demise. The sound of her torso scraping against the ground, combined with her relentless pursuit, strikes terror into the hearts of all who hear it. Tete is the vengeful spirit of modern urban legend, a horrific reminder of the consequences of human cruelty. Before I show the number 1, here are some of the most terrifying creatures worth mentioning. Papaa. Under the dark skies of Zanzibar, the shape-shifting Papaa terrorizes entire villages, its bat-like form striking fear and chaos. Known for its brutal attacks and psychological torment, this creature leaves its victims traumatized, often targeting them in their sleep. The sheer unpredictability and savagery of the Papaa's assaults create an atmosphere of pervasive dread and hysteria. Papaa is the nightmarish embodiment of fear and violence, a creature whose legend sows panic and terror wherever it is told. Alp. In the eerie stillness of the night, the Alp, a malevolent Germanic spirit, creeps into homes to sit upon the chests of sleepers, inducing paralyzing nightmares. With its ghastly, shape-shifting form and blood-red eyes, the Alp leaves its victims gasping for breath and drenched in fear. It feeds on the terror it induces, returning night after night to haunt those it has marked. The Alp is the dark invader of dreams, a creature that turns sleep into a battleground of horror. Leua. In the foggy rural paths of Central America, Leua, a beautiful woman with a horse's skull for a face, lures unsuspecting men to their doom with her eerie, enchanting call. Her grotesque transformation from alluring maiden to monstrous entity leaves her victims paralyzed with fear before she drags them to their demise. The chilling visage of Leua, with her hollow eyes and skeletal grin, is a nightmarish apparition that haunts the darkest corners of folklore. She is the sinister seductress, a creature of duality that preys on human weakness. Jorogumo. In the remote mountains of Japan, the Jorogumo, a spider woman, spins her deadly webs to ensnare unwary travelers, transforming from a beautiful maiden into a monstrous arachnid. Her ability to seduce and deceive her victims before wrapping them in silk and devouring them alive is the stuff of nightmares. The Jorogumo's lair, filled with the remains of her previous prey, is a macabre testament to her insatiable hunger. She is the ultimate predator, a creature of beauty and terror that weaves death with a smile. And at number 1, Banshee. In the misty hills of Ireland, the wail of the Banshee heralds death, her mournful cries piercing the night with a sorrow that chills the soul. Her spectral form, with flowing hair and eyes red from weeping, appears to those doomed to die, a harbinger of inevitable tragedy. The sound of her keening is enough to strike fear into the hearts of the bravest, as it foretells the inescapable grip of death. The Banshee is the ethereal mourner, a ghostly figure whose presence means doom is near. The world is full of mysterious and terrifying creatures, from the spectral Banshee to the vengeful Wendigo. They remind us of the dark and mysterious corners of folklore and mythology that continue to haunt our imaginations. As we explore these nightmarish beings, we delve into the fears and legends that have shaped cultures and kept us looking over our shoulders for centuries. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow for more.